after Property, to be frank, just came out with a absolute blowout of a game on HellRaisers on cash, winning it 16-1. Man, was that not crazy later?
Dare I say, claimed HellRaisers as their own property.
Yeah,
Dare
really.
I say it.
I would say that's a fair statement. It was just incredible. I mean, even if you had Property winning that game, you had by no means were expecting it to be like that. I think most people, or a lot of people, had HellRaisers winning that one, but you know,
I was
just
all. It actually just
sorry,
occurred to me that I was sorry. I actually cut you up, but it occurred to me I was so jumbled before with how crazy that last 16-1 was that I was all messed up. I didn't realize that Property actually had the side pick here. I think I said HellRaisers had it. I'm actually seeing Property squad up on the CT side of the CT-sided map. Got to imagine they're feeling really confident here, but it's all going to have to stem from this pistol round. A stoppage right here where there's a huge A stack for the CTs and a B take from the terrorists.
I bet they're feeling mighty good right now. We'll see what HellRaisers can do with this one here. They already have Doja inside of the site, who's managed to get the bomb down, and now it's going to be Property on the retake. No frags have come through yet, and more or less even any damage has come through yet. Now, finally, Pov goes down. Berg falling as well to a couple players from HellRaisers. Though Zendy strikes back with one as well, so it's a 3-on-4 here as he tries to come up from this water area. It manages to put a bullet inside of Doja's head, and Dren goes down as well to Twist, so a good retake coming through here from Property. Bomb getting close to going off, though. Schneider's going to have to stick this one as they do manage to find the frags. Property does.
Time.
Retake the defuse is gonna be close. Oh, and the bomb blows up. It was so tight, but HellRaisers caught a break there and managed to come out on top of that round, winning the pistol 1-0. But that could have gone very, very wrong for them.
It could have gone very, very wrong, as you said. Just a kit was the difference between winning and losing that round. That has to be. Well, it's a relief that I think HellRaisers is winning rounds, but they even have to know that they cut that one pretty close there. And what that makes 2 out of 8 pistol rounds that HellRaisers has now won. That's still not a great rate.
Yeah, it hasn't been working out too well for them today, and they're lucky to win that one. Oh, Kucher almost whiffing on a shot there on Schneider over down at this long area here towards A. And there's also going to be a player inside a bathroom that Kucher wants to handle. He's actually going to pinch him in there with one of his teammates. It was a Dren who was in there, so it's 5-on-3 right now, and coming through, HellRaisers just taking out all these guys from Property right now as Poff goes down to a Dren here. So it is a 5-on-2 now, as you would expect them to be handling this round here. Excuse me. Both players from Property leaning on towards that A site, so it looks like HellRaisers now are getting that rotate into B.
Yeah, it seems like for the most part they've had well, I guess last round they couldn't even say they had a read. They got a whoa, Kucher, nice shot. Just had the right idea going towards B. It seems like this round they definitely got the read and were able to move to the correct site. But yeah, just choosing right so far. It's a good start for them. I mean, they're already about to put up more rounds this game than they did last game. So yeah, I mean, no matter how you look at it, it is an improvement. So they do have that to lean on.
And getting there little by little, I guess, as they do now lead 2-0, as you said, more rounds than they had last game. So it's a start. At least it's a start for HellRaisers. So it looks like they're definitely going to have a big equipment advantage here on Property on this round, of course, as they only have their standard pistols, haven't even bought up with anything extra, not much of a point in it, so they'll just save that money, and the B stack is going to be real here, so it looks like they could actually maybe at least contest a little bit here. It's the best chance they'll have at it, as they've decided to stack the B site, so Nade's just flying across the bomb site here, taking out Zendy to start things off, but here comes the frags right back from Property. Berg able to get one. Actually, he got 2 with his pistol, though. They just clean up the rest of them, but not a terrible pistol from Property there, despite the situation they were put in. So 3-0 it is for HellRaisers, but now Property will be able to come out on this gun round here and see if they can get the better of HellRaisers, as they had done easily on cash.
Yeah, and I think that round was definitely a matter of Property not having the proper firepower. USPs should never win that kind of engagement. And I don't expect Property to do any kind of craziness like a gun round full 5-man B stack, but either way, it shows that they're taking the correct guesses, and you know, they were also getting the entries, or rather shutting down HellRaisers from getting the entries. Had they had rifles or anything like that, I'm not really sure if HellRaisers would have been able to so easily mop that up. Really, the advantage they had was just that the USP is really so weak against armored opponents, especially when you're making it hard to hit their head. So Property is, you know, even though they are down 0-3 rounds, I feel like 2 of them very easily, like, I mean, the first one, like, so easily could have gone their way. And that third one, definitely, I could see how things could have gone sideways for them. So it's not like they're getting beat too handily.
No, certainly not. I mean, they're still putting up very much of a fight, and had they not caught a break there, excuse me, Twist actually finds one inside of Bathroom there, and there's going to be a few more in from HellRaisers as well, but Poff comes out and able to pick up onto a frag on Angel here as well, so it'll be that's actually a 4 versus 3. Twist only has 1 health left as they try and hold off this A site here. Doja manages to finish off Twist there, and he'll bring himself into the site, lands a headshot on a Zendi as well. And that's great entries into this A site, and the bomb will now go down as both players rotating up from underneath. It's Poff and Bird both trying to get their way in here. It's going to make it a bit difficult as, well, actually missing that shot was Mal, and Poff will make him pay for it as he takes him out. And now coming out of bank is Bird, able to take down Doja in a 2 versus 1. Adren has to try and hold this one off here, and they will manage to find the frag onto him. Poff coming through to pick up on that one as well. Bird getting the defuse, and what looked like could have definitely been a HellRaisers round there. Property comes right back on a good retake from the 2 players coming in from under and making it a 3-1 game here. Still a HellRaisers lead.
Yeah, and the HellRaisers did such a good job of supporting their entry fraggers and getting into the site. That was a really tough round to watch them lose. Doja working up there, pushing up at the card. They did such a good job trading off the frags with the man advantage, and the site just couldn't, as you said, hold off the retake. I mean, I don't know, Mal missed some pretty... I don't know, some shots he definitely should have hit with that. He had 2 opportunities to take down the guy on the boost with the arm. Would have not only continued their man advantage, made it a 3-on-1, which would have been pretty much unlosable. And the fact that he was just unable to get that frag, it kind of, everything started to spiral out of control from that point. And that's kind of what we've been seeing a lot from, not even just him, it sounds like I'm calling him out in particular, but the offers just not being able to get it done for HellRaisers. On Cash, they were missing off shots left and right.
Yep. Yeah, there's definitely been, I would say, definitely been a problem for them. That they, you know, can't get some of those crucial picks that they really need to defend some of the sites, open up the sites, what have you. But Mao has gone down now. He was the bomb carrier. Zendi was able to take care of him. So now it is Kucher and Doja that are going up against Zendi, who finds himself all alone here. Managed to get a couple good shots off onto Doja, but now the HellRaisers players are trying to work themselves around towards this A side, as Doja should be following up Kucher here soon to get this bomb down on the A site, and Zendi's kind of leaning between both of them here. Doesn't know quite where they're going to be going, but he's going to bring himself up towards the A side, so he's aware of it. Just got to be careful about it. Bomb goes down on the A site now, and Zendi's taking his time here. He needs to find 2 frags and the defuse. Finds one, taking out Doja. Now a 1 versus 1 against Kucher, who's playing over towards long.
Read. Looked right at him on long, like he knows what's up, and he still absolutely has to clear main, just, you know, to do his due diligence. But it seems like he does have that inkling.
Oh goodness! And Kucher just sprays him down as soon as he got onto that bomb there. Zendi didn't even really bother to check long, just left it open, and now that's another round going over to HellRaisers here, making it a 4-1 game.
Yeah, really well timed, doing a lot of damage to the economy of Property, so HellRaisers is going to be able to really comfortably buy up. Even Adren grabbing that MAC-10. Probably shouldn't have too much of a care. The rest of his teammates have rifles. Even if he does get caught out, won't be the end of the world. Property themselves, though, not really bought out, but did upgrade their pistols quite a bit. The Behold is going to be tested right now as the 5 tires are going to be trying to work their way in there. 1 CT folds. Poff now looking for, who was that? Angel, but Angel's not pushing through.
Oh, he's got nades coming through. Doja is getting onto the site here to at least plant his bomb, and Schneider will be coming out of lower here in just a second. Dren takes care of that nice and easy, and now Angel's going to be meeting up with Twist in just a second here. Missed the first couple shots, but did manage to convert onto the frag. Going for a second one, he grabs that as well, and now it is just Poff. And 1 versus 5, and he will get his head blown off by Angel, as well as he picks up a 3K, I believe that was, on the round for him. So HellRaisers cruising comfortably here on the first half after they had a very shaky cash game. They've been doing well on Overpass so far, which was their better map on the last series that we saw anyway. They did much better on Overpass than they did on Cash, despite winning both maps. Overpass definitely the better of the two for them, and it seems to be the case so far in this game as well, as they have a 5-1 lead on this T side.
Yeah, and because the one round that Property did win, they were only able to keep 2 players alive. They're actually now forced in a position where they have to double save. They couldn't even afford rifles here, so things are actually starting to work out for them. Schneider getting the first frag before getting traded out with a teammate, but actually 2 for 2 overall. That is not terrible in the grand scheme. If they can jump Kucher right here, or they can, he actually gets the jump on them. He really could have been able to open up the round here, but it looks like Kucher might be able to close things out pretty easily with the AK, and he does.
Yeah, no, it started off well for Property there, but eventually the HellRaisers' positioning just kind of caught a lot of the guys from Property off guard, so not too much they could do about it. Not a terrible pistol round for Property, though. Not a terrible save, but certainly would have liked to have done more with it. But regardless, they are stuck in a 1-6 deficit here, though they have been able to buy up with their their M4s here this round. M4s across the board for them. 3 of players have head armor as well, and Mao is going to be rocking with his off once again here.
Yeah, that last round was actually kind of, as you said, reminiscent of the third pistol round, where HellRaisers executed on the B-bomb site, and the USPs got the first 2 opening frags on the players, and then the firepower and position just overwhelmed them. The pistols are strong up to a certain point, and eventually they could kind of diminishing returns. So good on HellRaisers for kind of weathering the early storm similarly like they did earlier this game and continuing their win streak. I mean, they look like they aren't broken down by how I think poorly last game went for them. The fact that they're rebounding so nicely just once again just shows how disciplined these guys are, and even when things aren't going properly, they recognize that this is a job, and they got to get to work.
Yeah, I agree with that completely, because it is very tough to keep yourself mentally stable, and that sort of thing
in that game. Imagine what the players were feeling.
Oh goodness, if I was on HellRaisers, I mean it's just a devastating loss to lose 16-1. It's hard to keep your composure after something like that, but they've certainly been doing a good job of it leading into this game, to not let themselves get too down and realize that this is it's a new game. It's a completely new game, new map. Come out and let's try and get a tie, and that's what they're trying to do right now. So Adren starts off this push here into the A site by taking down Zendi, and Kucher will be able to pick up onto a frag on a twist as well, and there's also going to be a player down towards the spawn side. Pop will take care of him as well, so now it is just up to Bergen. It looks like this is easily going to be another round here, right over to HellRaisers, who look much more comfortable here on Overpass.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like Property had almost no chance of working their way into that round to make a difference, and with Doja cleaning up the last frag, that is, what, 2 of the last 3 rounds they're able to keep all 5 players alive. It's kind of, we're seeing a bit of kind of what we saw from the cash game, just a bit of a reversal. HellRaisers players now stacked up with cash, 3 of them over $10,000. Other 2, not super rich, but they got money to blow, and they can be so easily dropped by their teammates that HellRaisers, even if they do lose a round here or there, are going to be able to keep the pressure up and continue to keep Property on the back foot. It looks like we had, I think that was Twist that was pushed up in the birthday party trying to find some frags, but he's going to get chased away. Might be doing a good job setting up for a bait for Schneider, who hasn't gotten caught off guard. He just needs to stay back and not get too peeky, or else the players in birthday will spot him out.
And Angel has already started off this round here by taking care of Zendi, and I'll make it a 5-on-4. Not too much action as of yet here. They're working themselves towards long. HellRaisers is kind of leading with that op of Mal, seeing if he can get any long-range picks, though not really too many guys from Property, as you would expect, towards that long side with just pistols. So they've got 1 back inside of A, and then a couple spread as well, a few of their teammates, but the A push is going to be coming strong here from HellRaisers in just a second from this long side. Berg is inside of the site, only down to 12 health, and Mal will easily take care of that. Kucher finds one behind as well, outside of bathroom, so this plant should be coming out here, getting it down on this A site. HellRaisers shouldn't lose any players on this round either. Schneider has 5-7. Yeah, he might be able to get the jump onto one player, though I wouldn't expect them to lose much more than that. But we'll see what he can do. Maybe take a gun out of one of the hands of HellRaisers. But like we said, it's not really going to make much of a difference. They barely have, yeah, and Kucher finishes them off anyway, so they don't even lose anybody. And even if they had, it's, they have so much money that it doesn't even matter. I mean, Angel's just sitting there with 16K after,
and can't even drop a teammate.
Yeah,
he just has to sit there and max out and live with it. I mean, maybe throw an AK over the fence just cause, but that was back-to-back rounds where HellRaisers was able to keep 5 players alive. So that is absolutely going to contribute to the economy positively. Even on cash, I mean, Property was keeping a lot of players alive, and there were, I'm sure, multiple instances of them keeping all 5 alive. But I don't know if they were stringing them together like that.
Oh, Twist playing very aggressive with the op right here, up in the bathrooms. Very good aggressive play, paying off for Property right there. Mal strikes back by taking out Zendi, though, as he tried to play up out of the stairs, right over outside of bathroom, but didn't work out for him. Mal was ready for it. He knew they were playing aggressive, so he was ready for a play out of that. But still, regardless, Property has at least a one-man advantage for the time being.
Yeah, so let's see. It'll be interesting to see if they can continue to use that man advantage to their advantage, but interestingly enough, Poff alone, if he doesn't spot anyone out, he actually gets killed. So that might force a rotate. I was going to say, if he didn't spot anyone, that actually might be even worse, because, it would not allow his teammates to rotate, or not,
Schneider.
But Schneider coming in huge with the op, as his teammate did die, supporting him really well, picking up a 3K with it, getting super loose there, and putting Property right back on the board. Not something that we haven't seen from them. We've seen them win rounds previously. The only problem, though, is that if they go on to lose this subsequent round, who knows what their economy is going to look like after that. So winning one round is step 1. Step 2, you got to start to chain them. You got to find some economic stability and get some momentum going, or else HellRaisers is just going to continue to roll away.
I don't know if there was no communication between HellRaisers there with Schneider. After he killed both of his teammates, it was just the last guy. I can't even remember who the last kill was, but he just wasn't looking anywhere near the direction that Schneider was in. I don't know if he was aware of another guy in the site maybe that he had to worry about too, but still, it just seemed like he was completely unaware of where Schneider was at. So I don't know, maybe a bit of a lack of communication as well. But regardless, as we were saying, Property does get themselves another round back on the board here. Twist starts it off. This round at least, by taking out Adren here as he was over in towards bathrooms, and a boost up top there, and Berg takes care of Mao, who was up there. So now it'll be a 4-on-3 Property with that one player advantage once again. We'll see if they can do anything with it. Berg actually switching over to the op here, seeing if he can get some long-range shots, able to get Doja, but Angel pops out of bathroom and exchanges on the frag with Berg there, so a 3-on-2 it is. And the 2 remaining players on HellRaisers, interestingly enough, both have ops. Yeah, so that'll be interesting once they decide to push in onto a site. And it looks like they want to try and take A here, but it's going to be a bit tough. But he gets that crack shot onto Zendi as he was just showing a bit of his arm there. Able to take him out, though. There is a flanking Poff here coming around, and it's all left up to Kucher now in a 1 versus 2. Let's see what he can do with it. He's on site having a battle here. He can't quite seem to convert on the frag, but Schneider working himself around. He'll have a good shot onto Kucher if he decides to peek out, but he didn't hold that corner, and Kucher will take care of him now. A 1 versus 1. Can he land this last frag on to Poff, or can Poff take him down? And he does, and now he will grab this defuse as well, giving Property a round that they desperately needed, so getting themselves yet another one onto the board here, making it 8-3 overall. HellRaisers still in a pretty comfortable lead here, I'd say.
Definitely, especially on the T side of this map. And I said step 1 was win 1 round, step 2 is start to chain them. I wouldn't say they're quite completed. I wouldn't say they've finished step 2, but they are well on their way here. Unfortunately, though, HellRaisers has such a big bank built up that they're going to make it really difficult. The pressure is going to be non-stop from them, but it seems like this double op is working pretty well for Property. They have some really slick op talents.
Yeah, they definitely do. Schneider's done some pretty great stuff this game. And Twist actually has had he's been holding his own with it as well. So we'll see here. HellRaisers trying to play towards this B side, and they've already taken down Poff, who was over on short. So that'll be a 1-player advantage for them. Adren got the jump onto Berg as well, who actually, Berg saw him first, but Adren eventually converted on the frag. It's a 3-on-3 now. They're pushing into this B side. Kucher able to find Zendi in the back. behind the sandbags, but Twist will convert with that as well, as he was sitting up top with the op. And once again, we see the remaining 2 players of one of the teams. This time, Property has 2 ops. Great shot from Maldo to take out Schneider through a part of that box. And now it'll be a 1 versus 2 for Twist here. He has the op, misses that first shot, and he will get taken out by Doja, who came around on the other side. So regardless of those 2 rounds that Property had gotten in a row, they really needed that 3rd round to kind of build up an economy, but HellRaisers striking back with a round here. That'll make it 9-3.
Yeah, at the very least, they needed the round they won, the 2nd round they won, to be a much cleaner round, not just leave one guy up alive, because, yeah, they did start to chain together rounds, but they still had to force so many rebuys. And actually, Property's going to be bought out this round. They're just completely going for it, even though they're not going to be stacking up any bonus money. I wouldn't be surprised if we see, God, 2 more saves off of this? That can't be right. Hopefully, my mental math is just wrong, and it's only 1 more save after this. But with that shotgun on Twist and everyone else really invested with pistols and nades, and armor even, they have a lot invested in this round. I'm not really sure if I would have recommended they get this invested.
Yeah, I don't think it's paying off for him. My goodness, Angel ripping off ahead of Poff here as well. It's a 2-on-5. This is a not the best economic decision that Property could have made here. They're going to be so hurt for money after this round. Twist coming out, manages to find 1 on the Kucher, but still, I mean, you got Bird, who now, yeah, gets taken out by Doja. Just not the smartest decisions economically from Property there, and now they're just that much more screwed. I mean, they're going to have to save 1 or 2 more times here off of it. I mean, they only have 2 more rounds in the half. They're going to have to just get what they can after this round.
Yeah, next round. I mean, if they have a not a great showing on this round, like, yeah, they'll be able to buy next round. They'll sure get armor and some kind of rifle, but not the kind of buy that I'm sure they were looking for. Not the kind of buy that I think is going to slow down a HellRaisers that has this much momentum. So yeah, I mean, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, hindsight is 20/20. If it works out, it's viewed as genius. If it doesn't, you know, it's obvious. It's so easy to criticize in retrospect. But Property stacked a lot of people towards B right off the bat, and when they didn't get any information, cycled all the way back to A. It seems like they might have made the right decision, but, you know, if they give too much information to HellRaisers, they might scoot their way down the stairs and back over to that B site. So just have to make sure to not make sure the Property players don't get too overextended.
Yeah, his rotations are very quick here. Mao might be able to get the jump, trying to bait the shot out, but he was able to pick up on the frag anyway onto Poff there, and now Doja going to be getting aggressive into bathrooms, takes down Zendi, Berg falling as well to Angel, so as you would expect, just a slaughter here coming through from the A site and the surrounding area. There's 1 more player left, that's Schneider, and Angel easily takes care of that as he was lurking behind, and we're heading into the last round of the half here, but HellRaisers has just been dominating on this T side here. Not, once again, not what we were expecting. It's been a day of just things that we weren't expecting. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. And now Properties, well, they're buying up with what they can.
It's actually not a terrible buy.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, my mental math wasn't all the way there, but it wasn't too far off. They do have rifles, but they lack the supplementary nades that they need on all their players, except for Berg, who has decided to take the firepower disadvantage by picking up the FAMAS. So, you know, one of the players has to take a hit there, and it seems like he was the one who decided to do it, and things just aren't working out for them with just those M4s. They need just a little bit more than that right now.
Yeah, and Twist was all the way up at tree. Now, is that just like a high-risk, high-reward play if you're all the way up at tree like that? Because if you have multiple guys come through, I feel like it's very difficult to get yourself out of it.
Yeah, the thing that a lot of people like to do is keep a guy deep with an op and have the op or whatever that deeper player is draw a lot of attention, have that guy by tree just kind of posted and sitting and waiting. The tree is spammable, but you can't really see the guy around it. You don't see a gun poking through or anything like that. So the thought process is if the farther guy can draw enough attention, that guy in tree is either in a good position to jump the players that are pushing up or just take a wide peek and frag. And I don't think we've seen any real great... It's kind of a desperate move. Not desperate in the sense that, like, you know what I mean. It's one of those moves that you're doing just to try to catch the other team off guard. I really see it fail more so than it works, but when it works, it works.
Yeah, well, that time didn't work out too well for Property here, and HellRaisers picked up that last round, and it was a 12-3 half for them on the T side, and now they switch over to the T side, obviously, and Oh, it's been a hurting for property on this game too. HellRaisers got absolutely rolled first game on cash, and now HellRaisers is rolling property here on Overpass. So kind of interesting chain of events here that's been going on today. But nonetheless, HellRaisers in good position to put themselves at a tie for the day with property. And, if Property wants to keep themselves in this one, certainly need a pistol round win. HellRaisers could come very close to finishing this one off if they win this pistol round.
Yeah, also to correct some more crazy things that I said, I don't know, that first game must have had my brain spinning, because then I said that HellRaisers was 2 out of 8, when in reality they're 2 out of 7. So in terms of winning the pistol round, so not too far off. But a pistol round right here not only would vault them into a great position to win the game, but also just further help that the pistol rounds that they've just been unable to pick up for the most part. But they've been kind of trending hot in the pistol round department. They picked up the last one, so it has to be a little bit comfortable moving into this one. But really, I feel like HellRaisers would do themselves a huge service by practicing some more on those pistol rounds. I mean, even even the game that they got cut so close on Cash, I mean, it was really only so close because they gave up 6 free rounds to the other team.
Exactly. And now, we'll see if they can do it here. They're getting a big push. Property is onto the site. Bird starts it off with an entry on to Dren, and many more coming through from Property here. So many I can't even keep up with it. They haven't lost a single player getting into the site. That bomb is down. Doja with the 5-7, able to get 2. Manages to find 2 somehow. He had 4 guys just rushing straight in on him, but nonetheless, Property does win that pistol round, so at least give themselves a little more room to work with here moving into the second half. Still down 12-4, though, and once again, HellRaisers still having issues winning those pistols.
Yeah, Doja really loves to buy that 5.7 on his own pistol.
Yeah.
It's kind of a big investment to throw down. It's $500. You're denying yourself a kit, and I guess you get your choice of nade there. And for the most part, it seems like he's been really effective with it. The 5.7 is just such a strong gun that even when you come up against some terrorists that have armor, your firepower advantage is so much that those bullets are just shredding through the armored players. So I like that buy. I like the idea behind it, but it seems like these HellRaiser players just cannot properly position themselves to win pistol rounds. That is, the official score is what? I think 2 out of 8 that they've won now after all is said and done. 2 out of 8 is not a great ratio for them.
No, not at all, and certainly something to go back to the drawing board and work on for themselves. I don't know if they usually have this much trouble on pistols in their other games, but after today, I think it's something they certainly do need to work on. But yeah, it certainly could be. But as we speak, there are frags going down over towards bathroom area. Dren was able to pick up on one. I think one of his teammates also got one. Zendi and Schneider are both down here, and HellRaisers actually has a 1-player advantage here. They are surely outgunned as far as the equipment department goes, but nonetheless, they do have a 1-player advantage so far on this round here. There's only about 25 seconds left for Property to work with here. Looks like that will be coming towards the B side as HellRaisers now aware of that. They start their rotates in, but it's just Angel here. Manages to find one on the twist on a great shot from that 5.7. Searching for a second one here. Gets a lot of shots into the player in short. Manages to take him down, and Doja comes in to finish off Berg, and they will come through, grab this defuse here, and HellRaisers striking back on their eco as they just had, real big, and that is going to be a 13-4 game now for HellRaisers within 3 rounds, and they're actually managing to grab up some rifles as well to finish this one off. Yeah, 3 AKs at the end of that, so a big eco for HellRaisers there.
Yeah, I touched on before about how I like when teams are buying a lot of rifles after winning the pistol rounds, just because, or when you so desperately need to not get eco. But it just goes to show that even if you do have rifles in your hands, nothing can stop a really strong team with strong pistols in their hands. I mean, they had 3 AKs to work with and still got beat by the pistols of HellRaisers. That has to say something there. This round, Property. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it amazes me that that HellRaisers can win rounds using pistols against rifles, but they can't win pistol v pistol rounds.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I don't know. I think a lot of it has to do. I mean, HellRaisers is clearly not a team. Like they've competed for long enough where they would know if they had any gaping holes in their game. I bet you a lot of their inability to win pistols is just a combination of bad luck and I don't know,
It's an
maybe
off
just
day.
yeah, off day kind of stuff. But it definitely is something they should perhaps look at.
Well, now heading into the B site, it's property. They're trying to get into the B site, but HellRaisers so far doing a good job of shutting it down. Doja coming through and finding 2 more with the Tech 9 right at the tail end of that round, giving HellRaisers a 14-4 lead here, within 2 of winning it. If they do manage to come out on top, which I would expect them to do, just the way this game has been going so far, they will tie this little 2-map series with Property for the day, as Property did destroy them on cash, but HellRaisers now, with the opportunity to at least tie for the day, would have certainly loved to have, put another win on the board for themselves, as all these teams that we've seen today are lacking in the win department. But
Well, not HellRaisers anymore. They put up one in the
yeah.
last series, so
Yeah, they do have that 1 win at least. Would have loved to put 2 up, but, it is what it is at this point. Just going for that tie now. Make the record a little better. Great shot from Poff, though, onto Angel, who tried hopping up there to get a little bit of intel, maybe throw a nade, but just pop his head off there. So, good start to the round here from Property with this 1-man advantage.
definitely it'll be interesting to see how Property chooses to not audible off that pick, but work off of it. It looks like the HellRaisers players are actually getting a little bit aggressive there and challenging them in front of Bathroom. Kucher in a good position to pick up a frag, and I bet who's that right behind him? Adren supporting him really well. I bet he wants to peek around by that smoke. But I really like that smoke because it doesn't allow the guys coming from Bathroom to get support from the guys that are outside the door, and it lets them to make plays like this where they push up and just start shredding the Property players.
Schneider returns with 1 onto Kucher, who is inside of the Bathroom, but Mao with 3 HP and the AWP in hand. Adren catches Schneider, over by Bathroom as well, so it's a 1 versus 3 now. Pop has to come up big, but there's a hiding Doja by the stairs to finish him off. So that gives map point over here to HellRaisers, the opportunity to tie the game overall, end in a tie for the day. It's 15-4 right now, and they're still going to have lots of money for weapons and whatnot. They'll have enough for some big buys here, and Property pretty much has enough for a few pistols. They have 3 Tech 9s, a Deagle, and an AK out on the board, and Schneider's AK doesn't even have armor, so it's going to be a rough round for Property here. HellRaisers clearly with an advantage.
Yeah, these guys continue to show me some neat tricks on this map. I really like how they threw that smoke down by the mid-bathroom door. It allowed them to force the issue on the players that were in the bathroom and disallow the people that were outside of it from even coming in and supporting them. Pretty much the only reason, or pretty much the reason why HellRaisers was able to work themselves back into it, and taking 2 picks right off the bat on this round. It looks like they are eager to close this one out. I think maybe they didn't like what we were saying about them after the first game. They really wanted to throw it back at us.
Yeah, they must have heard us. They certainly have turned it around immensely from that first game. So all they need to do is find 3 more frags here, and they will go ahead and end this game. Off inside of Bathrooms lands a nice shot with his Tech 9 onto Kucher, and Adren will come back and exchange with an M4 frag here. But regardless, still a 4-on-2 is the Property trying to gain entrance into this A site here. Actually had a good look, Poff did, but Adren managed to catch him with a headshot, and that will end it right there. HellRaisers taking the 2nd game in that 2-map series, 16-4, and a good way for them to come back and end the day after getting absolutely massacred on cash. Good way for them to come back and kind of end the day on a higher note. At least tying that series there and kind of having a role of their own, taking that 16-4. So all around, kind of back and forth, shaky play from them, but in the end, HellRaisers managing to force that game there to a tie. So a win and a tie on the day for them, not too bad.
Definitely, yeah. I think that one kind of worked out for both HellRaisers and Property. Weird seeing back-to-back blowouts like that, just back and forth between the 2 teams. But yeah, and this series, kind of no harm, no foul, no real winner, no real loser. But when you take a step back, look at the whole day, got to imagine HellRaisers happy with what they did. They didn't lose. They put up with their first win of the season, and they threw down a 2nd tie after getting beaten pretty mercilessly. So the fact that they didn't crumble under that pressure, were able to battle back and kind of throw it right back into Property's faces, I'm sure felt really good. And I honestly, I bet if this goes to a game 3, if there was a game 3, I bet you HellRaisers wins it.
Yeah, they started.
It seemed like
really
they were really hitting it.
Yeah, definitely. They're picking it up a lot. So, I agree with you there. Certainly would have taken a third map, I think. But that's kind of what we were working with today. Some pretty crazy games. Saw lots of good stuff. Only on our two maps, Cache and Overpass, but it was lots of fun to be here and do it with you here
Interesting
later.
maps.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully we get to work again together here soon. It
Yeah,
was lots of
first time
fun.
and hopefully not the last.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect it to be the last. It was lots of good fun. So we will be closing it out here shortly. Any closing comments here for us before we sign off?
Um, I don't think so. I think there's plenty of other Counter Strike to be watched out there. So in a
Yeah.
day where there's so much good Counter Strike, don't go outside. Don't enjoy the summer. Go watch more Counter. There's so many games to watch. We put together some good games, and there's really no shortage of it out there. And also, I got two things. One, follow us on Twitter. Our the Twitter names are right below our geeky faces. You guys can follow that on Twitter. Hit us up. We will let you know when we're live, when we're streaming, things like that. And also, CEVO's pumping out like 10 hours of content a day between North American and European Counter-Strike. We do two best of twos in the morning for Europe and two best North American best of twos at night. So that's Sunday through Thursday, pretty much every week. Stay tuned to CEVO. There's no shortage of content coming out. It's nonstop Counter-Strike over here.
Yeah, lots of good stuff going on. We got you guys covered on your European and your North American fronts here for CS, so definitely stay tuned with us. And as he said, give us a follow on Twitter. Love hearing what you
CEVO
guys
as
have to
well.
say. Yep, Sevo as
At
well.
CEVO.
Yep, definitely go ahead and check that out. All of that. So that's going to do it for us today, guys. Thank you for joining us here on Play Evo on MLG TV. I'm not sure if there's some North American games tonight or
Oh,
not,
there
but
are.
oh yeah, definitely. Well, why would I even question that? Of course, there's North
It's a
American games
Sunday.
tonight.
There's
Yeah.
content to be produced.
Yeah. Of course, there's games tonight. I'm an idiot. So definitely tune back in for that. That'll be later on tonight. We'll have some North American games on. You can go ahead and check the schedule and see what games will be on. But that'll do it at least for us today on the European front. So thank you for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you guys on our next cast here on Play Evo on MLG TV. Have a good day.